Okay.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to
Very
the
good.
Essential Channel. This is Isabel Inclán, and now I have here with my guest today is the Federal Minister of Housing, Diversity and Inclusion, Ahmed Hussen. Welcome to the Essential Channel, Minister.
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. And I know you are busy, and thanks for your time. And my first question for you related to housing. Housing is important problem here in Toronto. We are in Toronto, but also in
Yes.
Canada.
Yes.
It's a big problem that you have in your shoulders. So what is the budget doing for addressing the housing problem?
Well, first of all, let me just briefly speak about the themes. There are three main themes for Budget 2023. One is helping people to be able to meet the challenge related to affordability. So there is additional targeted supports for low-income Canadians, including a new grocery rebate, which will deliver $467 to low-income families and over $220 to low-income seniors, as well as low-income Canadians with a disability. Second is to reinforce our healthcare system. Over $198 billion over the next 10 years to hire more doctors, to hire more nurses, to hire more healthcare professionals, and to strengthen our public healthcare system by, for example, introducing innovation, introducing more community-based care. That's very, very important. And then also enabling families, enabling children from low-income households who are under the age of 18, as well as low-income seniors and low-income Canadians with disabilities to access dental care, affordable dental care through the new Canadian Dental Care Plan. This will ensure that millions of Canadians from low-income backgrounds can access good dental care. And finally, Budget 2023 is also about investing in our economy, investing in clean jobs, investing in the clean economy so that we can continue to attract good, well-paying middle-class jobs. On housing, there's a number of things in Budget 2023. There's an additional $4 billion to go towards Indigenous peoples living in urban, rural, and northern communities outside of reserves. This $4 billion is going towards the urban, rural, and northern Indigenous housing strategy to meet the unmet housing needs of Indigenous peoples living off reserve. There's also the beginning of the tax-free first-time home buyer savings account. This will enable first-time home buyers to save up to $40,000 tax-free in a savings account so that they can use it to buy their first home. And then there's also, for those who already have mortgages, they're facing higher payments because of increase in interest rates and higher mortgages. So because of that, we're introducing relief measures. We've issued guidelines to federally regulated financial institutions to introduce relief measures so that those with mortgages who would like to use those relief measures can access them without paying additional penalties or additional fees. This includes, among other things, extending the amortization period beyond 25 years so that the monthly mortgage payments can come down, allowing things like lump sum payments and others without, again, incurring new fees.
Okay, Minister, I really applaud the new tax-free first home saving account because it's going to help the Canadians who wants to buy the first, they can save the money tax-free to buy the new home. But what about the low-income families when they don't have enough money to pay or save money for a house and they are paying rent? And
that's a very good question. We are the government that introduced the Canada Housing Benefit. This is a direct payment to renters, vulnerable renters across the country, to help them pay the rent. So this is a program that we introduced as a government, and it is a cost-shared program, 50-50, with provinces and territories. And the Canada Housing Benefit, the Canadian Housing Benefit, is now active in all provinces and territories. And there are tens of thousands of families and individuals who are benefiting from those rental supports. In addition to that, we're building more rental units through the Rental Construction Financing Initiative. There isn't enough supply of rental units across this country, and we recognize that. So we have a $25 billion program called the Rental Construction Financing Initiative, which has been building thousands of rental units across the country. We're also building deeply affordable housing through programs like the Rapid Housing Initiative, which is on track to build 15,000 rapidly built, deeply affordable units for the most vulnerable, people who are experiencing homelessness or people who are at risk of experiencing homelessness. We also have other programs that build deeply affordable housing through the national housing, through the national housing strategy.
Okay, Minister, and generally speaking, how to tackle the speculation in housing? I know there is a program, 2-year ban for no Canadians buying property, but is that enough?
No, we're continuing with other measures. We put a 1% tax on vacant, non-resident, non-Canadian owned properties. We put a 1% tax on those vacant properties before we even put the foreign ban in place. And we have committed to carrying out a review of real estate investment trusts and looking at real estate as a financialization tool. That is part of the issue. But also part of the problem is lack of enough supply. We don't have enough supply in Canada. We have the fastest growing population in the G7, and we need to build more housing fast of all kinds. And 2 weeks before the budget, the Prime Minister launched the Housing Accelerator Fund, $4 billion that will go to cities and communities to speed up the permitting and the construction of new housing. This program alone is supposed to unlock 100,000 additional new homes, and also change systems so that we in Canada will be able, in the next number of years, to double the number of new homes built in this country.
Okay, this is a good question, but what do you think about, definitely we need more units for people.
Absolutely.
Because the public, the population is growing, especially in big cities like Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver. But what do you think about the program, especially in Toronto, to construct more buildings or units, but probably affected the Greenbelt? What do you think about that?
I don't support that. I think we should continue to protect the Greenbelt. If we engage in more density and build around transit, we will be able to still take advantage of providing more units, take advantage of the available room for more density, which is exactly what the Housing Accelerator Fund is about. We will work with municipalities and local communities, Indigenous governments, to build more affordable housing, to build more rental units, to build more density around transit, so that we can unlock more units.
Okay, Minister, finally, my last question for you, and thanks for your time. What do you think, what do your minister is doing related to the people living on the street? We have more encampments, more tents. What your minister is doing for that?
We have a program called Reaching Home. This is the federal homelessness strategy. We have doubled the funding from over $2 billion to just under $4 billion to make sure that we're supporting those communities and those organizations and those cities who are providing the frontline services to prevent homelessness, but to also provide support, referrals, and housing, permanent housing, temporary and permanent housing for those experiencing homelessness. Our programs are working. We have prevented 62,000 people from becoming homeless, and we have removed 32,000 people from the homeless population and provided housing for those people through our federal investments. We will continue that work together with our partners. We believe that we can, if we continue to work hard with our partners, we can eliminate chronic homelessness from Canada.
Okay, hopefully, yes, and hopefully the budget help population and low-income families to address the inflation that we are having now, right?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. That is why we're putting together the grocery rebate. That's why prior to that we have our investments in childcare, for example, are ensuring that families are able to save at least 50%. Of the fees that they used to pay for childcare. That's money going back into people's pockets. The Canada Child Benefit is delivering tax-free benefits to families with kids. We have provided more money to seniors. We're providing more money to students by eliminating interest on the Canada student loans. All of these measures are helping people have a little bit more money in their pockets so that they can buy more food and pay the rent.
Okay, Minister Hussen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your words for our program, the Essential Channel, and just keep working, especially thinking in the immigrants, thinking in the low-income families, and the new generation, of course.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you to you for being here in the Essential Channel, and see you in the next program. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. Hey.